I got to be honest with you. As much fun as it is to watch basketball's biggest names leave the stage so we can have new ones, I'm genuinely stunned by how I'm watching these playoffs, because we talked about Golden State and the Lakers all season. And the way that I watched Golden State last night and the way that I've watched these playoffs have made me, for the first time in my life that doesn't involve Nick Saban, someone who vigorously hates that I am rooting for Jimmy Butler to go down in flames. Like, I can't even believe how my objectivity has flown out the window on this. It was just, I was really happy last night, really happy that Jimmy finally found his joy again.
We're doing this, huh? That's the show we're doing. Yeah. Because last night was awesome.
This is a good morning.
Last night was wicked awesome.
There's some good stuff happening.
He's ass.
Harvard.
The text I got last night, immediately after the game, is a text I think you guys would want to see. Because in the first round, we said, hey, guys, Jimmy won the Miami thing. And in the second round, we're saying, oh, look, Miami wins it forever because the window is closed on the era of Jimmy. That closes, right? I can't believe he was in the era. The idea, let me explain to you what Miami did for Jimmy the last 5 years that it did and helped LeBron with. It was a lot better player, obviously, in 2010. What it is that Miami did for Jimmy. And Jimmy, it would go to Jimmy's head. Of course it would. In 5 years, Jimmy Butler went from a player none of us thought could be much better than a 1 on an 8 seed, a 1 on a 7 seed, a 1 on a 6 seed, because that's what we thought he was. Then he goes to Philadelphia, goes to Minnesota, builds his legend, but builds it in a way none of us have ever seen in the playoffs, ever. 0 40-point games regular season, 8 40-point games postseason. There's a playoff Jimmy. Well, yes, there was. We all saw it. It was amazing. It was the prime of his career. And he's gone. And now it's pump fake Jimmy. And pump fake Jimmy is different than playoff Jimmy. Pump fake Jimmy is 10 years of what basketball does to the body, and 35-year-olds generally age, and they're not all LeBron. LeBron's changed the science.
11 field goal attempts. What a joke.
What time you get this text? What time?
It was after that game.
It was after that game? Well, we can rule out Pat the Rat because that guy ain't up there.
Hey, this isn't the time to do that.
Oh, no, this guy's already going with the propaganda. What did he do for Jimmy? Come on, man. Jimmy carried their ass.
Cape Cod.
Jimmy did carry their ass for 5 years.
They did nothing for Jimmy. They surrounded him by Max Strus. Come on, let's get real.
Hold on a second. That's the text I got. I'm not Max Strus. I will tell you what that text is at some point. I will never tell you who it was from. I'm guessing you can all guess who it was from.
I mean, another stand situation?
Lobster roll.
What's a stand situation?
Yeah, like remember the Bam text last year that you denied it was Stan,
Yeah,
but we all thought
it was
Stan?
obviously Stan Van Gundy.
It wasn't Stan. Like, you guys put me in such a bad spot there. Such a bad spot.
You got two coaches that are friends. One pushed the other one out. It's got to be awkward for you.
I hate your accent so much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ted Williams.
All right. We'll get to Jimmy, because that hate is also fun.
I don't think you've talked about Jimmy enough over the last few months.
So I'm going to okay, good call, Boston guy.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Here is what I'm here to say this to America, and I want the sound. You guys have the video of these guys yesterday doing what it is that they did to the Boston Celtics before that game last night at the suggestion that the Celtics could come back against the New York Knicks down 3-1 without Jayson Tatum. And I went to bed last night after this tumult of hate and celebration of hate. I went to bed last night knowing that our show runs the risk epically because of what it is it did yesterday, laughing in the face of a champion, a worthy champion, A champion you should respect that you don't respect enough because they've got the faster car, and it was made to look easy. That champion has beat the holy hell out of the league for 2 years, and I will tell you that the difference, I wonder if you think this is true, what I'm about to say. The difference between the Celtics and the rest of the Eastern Conference, except for the Cavs this year, even if I remove Jayson Tatum from it, I'm just merely now making the Celtics about as good as the Knicks because Derek White and Jaylen Brown and Porzingis.
Dogs.
And if Drew Holiday's your fourth, you've got a team that could beat an inconsistent Knicks team that can absolutely have the wheels fall apart in a way that crushes the best feeling in New York in 25 years.
Dan, they were down 3-1 with Jayson Tatum. They're down. So you can't say, even without Jayson Tatum, they were down 3-1 with Jayson Tatum. They won a game. This is like the Thunder.
They won a home game.
Yeah, this is like the Thunder losing game one. And you're like, they won a game.
Don't discount the heart of a champion. And also, you forgot a name. You didn't mention Luke Cornett, the White Howard.
Butler.
Derek White.
Dan?
No, we know this.
Top 100 player.
Hold on. We didn't know this.
Top 100 player.
We didn't know this.
No.
I
tried to
told
tell
you he was
you.
your best player.
We tried to
2
tell
days
you.
ago.
We tried to tell you yesterday.
You
And you
listened
laughed
and said,
at
no,
us.
Jayson
I said
Tatum.
games that I saw with my own eyes.
Derek
Top 100
White is the
player.
best
I asked him
player.
about other
How many
people's
times
eyes.
do I have
He
to
said
tell
he
you
didn't
that?
know.
We got that Kobe cosplay out of the way now.
As you were.
Boston, without Jayson Tatum, can beat everyone remaining except OKC.
Specifically because they're missing Jayson Tatum.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Okay, let me
Yawkey.
make sure I heard that properly.
Way.
This version of Boston, this team right now would beat Minnesota.
I'm saying can beat Minnesota because they'll shoot from threes. Guys, just so you know, I'm sure the Celtics are like a 2-point dog in this game going to the You have clearly not been watching Knicks basketball this season. I know you trust Brunson. If you don't think that Knicks team can be undone by 25 years of being that Knicks team and the fact that they haven't closed out someone for those fans since 1999. That team is up and down, and it is ready to turn on Bridges if Bridges decides to go 1 for 11 on a night at their Garden. Where you guys are crazy if you don't think that the Knicks can blow this.
Knicks are a 2.5-point favorite tomorrow night.
You're nuts. If I tell you somebody's going to win in a game, you're crazy if you don't think that the Celtics can beat the Knicks 2 more times.
Where's the pushback that you're getting? We organically flipped last night watching the heart of a champion over there with Derek White. Finally getting more volume because we got Jayson Tatum out of the way. This is exactly how efficient Derek White. This is exactly how he turns organically. Now we realize with Tatum out of the way, the narrative can push forward that he's not a good basketball player, and now we want New York to be embarrassed.